Hello and welcome to TallTimber tutorial video number 11. In this we will be launching FVS Suppose and going through the growth modeling process. So clicking on this button will launch FVS Suppose after a brief warning. Something to keep in mind is every time you click that button, the FVS out database will be wiped clean of the previous growth modeling. So if you end up closing out of FVS Suppose at some point and you want to reopen it without deleting all of your old growth modeling, you should open that from your desktop. So the first step within Suppose is to select stands, which will prompt you to find the locations file. This is one of the ones we generated earlier, and when you browse, it'll be in the folder that you designated. So I have a shortened folder from what I showed in the previous video here because Suppose is sort of picky about the length of the file name as well as any spaces being in it. So if you have any issues locating your stands, make sure that the file name is jiving with what they're interested in. So here I have the Suppose location file and I can select open. So that gave a address to the stand locations within my file database, and I will select one stand for this because this will keep them separate in the reporting process. We'll go through that in the next video why this is useful. And then I can collect that stand into my Suppose model by clicking Add. So now I have the affected stand softwood, and I could group them by multiple stands in a different application. The next step is to add the keywords. So selecting the keywords button will bring up this dialog box here, and we will go to the database extension under the extension category, the category all keywords, and DSN out is the first one that we'll be using. So select accept, and then here on the right you can browse to the location of your FVS out database. So this is again within your C drive, the TallTimber folder, and the FDL folder. So within your FDL folder, you will find FVS out, but it will not show up immediately. This is one of the quirks of Suppose. It's designed for older operating systems, so it doesn't recognize some of the newer files. So to find the FVS out file, which is an access database, you will type in FVS down in the file name, and it will automatically pull up the ones that are shown. So you want the .mdb file. So once I find that, I can select open, and you will see in the database extension box C drive, TallTimber folder, FDL folder, and FVS out.mdb. Okay. The next and last keyword that we will need for this output is going to be down on the list, summary. Once I select that and accept it, it's a very simple one. It just says that it will build the FVS summary table in the output database. So I can select OK. So our last step to getting this model running is to set the time scale. This up here at the top will give you the length of the growing season, rather the length of time that you will grow the trees for from growing season to growing season. The common starting year is the one that I selected in my stands, but this can be adjusted up if you prefer. And the common ending year is as far as I want the growth to go. So I don't want 10 growths. I want to go to, let's say, 2047. That's 30 years. And the common cycle length 10 will give me a report of the growth every 10 years. So I'll get one for 17, 27, 37, and 47. When I select OK, I now have everything input for the bare minimum that will show up in the TallTimber reporting. From there I can click Run Simulation and give this a unique name. In this box, you'll see a lot of numbers and letters flying by. As long as you don't see a long list of zeros, something worked. So now I can minimize this FVS Suppose. Don't close out of it or you'll need to reopen. And in the next video, we'll go over viewing the type report and summary reports and bringing those into the combined reports that we covered in previous videos. Thanks for watching. That's FVS Suppose.